Hey everybody, John Skiba here, and I am a consumer protection attorney in the state of Arizona. I'm also a bankruptcy attorney. I help people who either need to file for bankruptcy or who have been sued by debt collectors. And if you follow me on my Facebook page, you may have been to our YouTube channel or even followed the Consumer Warrior podcast. You probably know a lot of these things about me, and you've probably seen some changes recently in some of the services that I'm offering in my law practice. Specifically, I now offer financial coaching services. And so I wanted to do a quick video and explain what these are, why I was really hesitant to add coach to my title when it comes to my law practice, but why I think it can be a benefit to you. Now, recently, I became certified through Dave Ramsey's organization and became a Ramsey Solutions Master Financial Coach. And what that certification is I really have learned and gone through the class and the coursework to learn really Dave Ramsey's approach to eliminating debt, building wealth, saving, and eventually giving and being charitable to people. And learning those principles and being able to teach and help people apply them into their lives. Now, the reason why I did this is because, as a bankruptcy attorney, it seems like these two things don't go together. Everybody knows that listens to Dave Ramsey that he is against bankruptcy big time. So to have a bankruptcy attorney seek out this certification, it was kind of weird for the people who were there teaching me, wondering what it is that I was doing, and maybe for some of my clients and people who know my law practice. The reason why I did it is because I meet with numerous people every day. I meet with families who are going through serious financial problems. And until I got this coaching certification, really it was kind of one of these things where I didn't have a whole lot to offer other than the bankruptcy. The bankruptcy option is absolutely necessary in a lot of cases, but there's also a lot of situations where it's just not necessary and people don't need to file for bankruptcy. And so I found myself meeting with couples and families and individuals who really needed help in getting out of debt, but they didn't really need, the nuclear option. They didn't need to file for bankruptcy. And so I wanted to have something else that I could do to provide to help them to get out of debt, to change some of the money habits that got them there in the first place, and to help them to move forward. And so that's where the financial coaching came into it. And, I was really hesitant to use the coaching title, which is strange because I've always been involved in athletics, and I've been a high school football coach myself. I've had a lot of coaches, but it just seems that there's a little bit of a stereotype when it comes to coaches and life coaches and things like that are out there. But, as I thought about it a little bit more, and I thought about the coaches that I've had in my life in athletics, many of you know that I played college football at Brigham Young University. And my coach at BYU was a man named Roger French. He was my offensive line coach. And I thought of some of the things that he taught me as a coach and some of the things that he did. And what he really did is he was there to provide guidance and direction and to point out things that were maybe a little bit uncomfortable for me to hear. I'll never forget when I first went to BYU, I was a mid-year transfer because I was coming from the junior college ranks. And I was pretty excited because I grew up near BYU. It had always been a lifelong dream of mine to play football there. And there I was. I got a scholarship. I had just completed spring football, and I had emerged from spring football as a starter on the offensive line. So as you might understand, I was feeling pretty good about myself at that point. I thought, what, I did it. I'm finally here. And not only am I here, but I made it through spring ball, and I'm a starting player on the BYU football team. At the end of spring ball, as was the tradition of Coach French, he met with each of the offensive linemen individually in his office to really kind of just recap what had happened. So I expected fully to go into his office and just to hear the praises of my coach and to say, this is great. We recruited you. You came in. You earned a starting spot. Let's keep this moving forward. But I'll never forget what he said to me. I walked into his office. I sat down. He turned around, looked at me, and he said, "Well, John, you've been a big disappointment." And if any of you do know BYU football out there, you'll know that Coach French kind of has a reputation for kind of things like that. But he knocked me down several levels in that, I was expecting one thing, and then he proceeded to go on and explain some of the things that I need to work on, some of the things that I need to get better at. And it was uncomfortable, and it was unpleasant, and it was unexpected even that he would say those things to me, even though I'd achieved something that I was really excited about. But he knew, as someone who was a very experienced coach, that if I was going to be successful at this new level of football, that it was going to take a lot more than what had got me up to that point. And so those are things, gave me things to work on over the summer as we were getting ready for the coming football season. So as I thought about that experience, I think that that's what I can provide to people who are dealing with financial problems but don't necessarily need bankruptcy, because it can be avoided in a lot of cases. And that's what I can do as a financial coach. I can assist people who need help, who need encouragement in areas like eliminating debt, budgeting, saving. If you followed the Dave Ramsey program or read Dave's book, The Total Money Makeover, or even participated in his Financial Peace University, he also focuses on things like retirement, college planning, and giving. And I will help with those, but I can tell you with my law practice, it's going to be really a focus on helping people to get out of debt, put some money aside, have savings, have that emergency fund, and then being able to have strong budgeting skills going forward to avoid the debt problems that I've seen so many families struggle with over the years. So I'm really excited about this new venture. And the nice thing about it, I can help people nationwide. We do help people via video conference or people here in Arizona. So if you would like to learn more about what I do as a financial coach, or if you think this could be helpful for someone who's dealing with financial problems, but they don't necessarily need the whole nuclear option of bankruptcy, head on over to my website. It's debtfree.coach. It's www.debtfree.coach. You can learn more about our services and even schedule a free consult to meet with me and really see what it is that we can do to help. Appreciate you watching today.